So welcome, my name is Daphne Williams of DwriteWELL.com. So anyway, this is my second day of the 21-day challenge for videos. As you can see, I think I'm so exhausted. Oh my goodness. I'm not on brain overload. I'm just on, I know that this is it. So, in knowing that this is it, who do I appreciate? I appreciate my mom. She's my best friend. Without her, I don't know where I would be. I could tell her all my secrets. And she doesn't tell them to anyone. She's a good person. We get on each other's nerves a lot, but she's really impacted my life because she's introduced me to writing, to reading. My mother's an amazing writer, and I've always wanted to write a book with her. And so we have some children's books that we're working on, but she encourages me. I remember growing up, not having high self-esteem, not loving myself, and she would always tell me I was beautiful, but that's what moms are supposed to do, right? So, I was going through a lot of stuff in high school, just emotional, and I survived my childhood, so I'll just leave it right there for now. And I was depressed a lot, and that's why it resonated with me. Tori, shout out to Tori. You know, the competition is deep. If Tori gonna keep doing what she's doing, I mean, that was powerful. Thank you for sharing that, Tori. Depression is real. Depression is real. I remember there was a commercial that says, "Where does depression hurt? Depression hurts everywhere and everyone." And so it's an everyday battle. So it's a familiar spirit also. So the next person goes right into the next person that I appreciate and value in my life and had a strong impact on my life and who I am today. And that would be the late, great Pastor Clarence Keaton. He was very monumental in my life as a child. He was my childhood pastor from True Worship Church. Shout out to True Worship Church in East New York, Brooklyn. When they told him he shouldn't show up over there, he shouldn't build the church there. It was too hood. It was too whatever it was. It was too whatever. It was too gangster. He didn't care. He kept coming and he loved us. And when he started the church, it was a hole in the wall. And I mean, we used to praise God. And I remember going into church when I was 15 years old. And I had decided this was the last day I was going to live on this earth. And I remember Courtney Bradley. Shout out to Courtney Bradley, Pastor Courtney Bradley now. These two people impacted my life a lot, because without those two, I don't think that I know I would not be here, because I planned it all out. I was going to end my life that night. And Courtney, he had to be 14 if I was 15. And he was on time. He was singing a song. He was a choir director. And because of his obedience, I'm still here. Because of his obedience to serve God and to surrender his life to God and serve God in song, he ministered to me. And so I thank Courtney, I thank Pastor Keaton, I thank God, number one, for bringing them into my life. And there's a lot of people that I appreciate in my family that really stood by me when I was sick. And if I start calling out names, it would be too many to name, but they know who they are. And you give people their flowers while they're alive. I remember my dad saying, love me now. And then 6 months later, he was gone. He had left the earth. He was finished. He was no longer here. And so the people that I appreciate, starting with Pastor Keaton and my mom, and I appreciate myself. Finally, there was a time I didn't love myself. I didn't appreciate myself. And so if I could just encourage people to just appreciate yourself, to know your own worth, to know your value, stop selling yourself short, stop casting your pearls amongst swine. And not to say you have to send an email blast and blast people out and curse them out and be rude, but sometimes you just need to fall back. Fall back in love with yourself. Fall back in love with God. Fall back in love with your purpose. Fall back in love with who you're supposed to be. Because at the end of the day, when I think about life and I think about death and I think about the dash in between, I don't want to get stuck on a dash. I don't want to get stuck on a dot of life and never push out my purpose. I feel like since I didn't give up and I didn't kill myself at 15, at 45, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. And so I decided to do this video raw, just like whatever, because, I survived when I didn't love myself, when I didn't think I was beautiful. I didn't hear it a lot growing up. So, little girls hear that growing up. So when you don't hear it, you don't believe it, especially if you hear the opposite. And so I just give God all praises for who he is in my life, because without him, I wouldn't even be here talking to you. So I thank you for watching. This is my 21-day challenge, day number 2. Shout out to Nate O'Brien. I appreciate you and the IMakeNoise team, because I know this year is the year that I break through. This year is the year that I become a millionaire online. And let me make a caveat. Okay, if I thank Nate, I have to thank Jermaine Still, because I met Jermaine Still first, and I was real sick, and Jermaine Still would inbox me. And I had stopped really inboxing him and Nate, because I felt like I was just, I know they busy. And so I never want to be the person that always say, oh, I don't have money, or I can't come. Figure it out, find a way. And, you could say, oh, I'm sick, but it's always somebody that's worse off than you. So, I don't use the excuses. I don't say, the whole time I was at the conference, I was in pain, but I kept going. And God showed up and he showed out. I won the IMakeNoise University. I won the seat in the class. And so I'm about to go real hard at it. I had a lot of stuff on my plate recently. And so I didn't really get into the classes, but I am, because I owe it to myself. I owe it to the legacy of Dr. Keaton, to the legacy of all those who sold and poured into me. So I don't want this video to get too long, but thank you guys for watching. If you want to connect with me, just check me out at DwriteWELL.com. I have a youth program called Motivated Beauty TeenPreneur, where I teach girls to have their own business, and my goal. So one day when I leave this earth, somebody can say, you know what, if it wasn't for Daphne starting Motivated Beauty, I probably would have been in poverty. She changed my life. She taught me things. And I love Nate's style of teaching, because he gives it all away. And I do the same thing. But I had to learn to do it to the ones that God is leading me to, and not just casting my pearls among swine. So guys, thank you for watching. God bless you. Good night.